Hey guys, it's Tessa. So I figured since I was quote unquote back in business girlies, I thought we would start with a normal one of my weekly vlogs. So it's Wednesday. As I've said in the past, work is a fucking bitch right now. Okay, I don't care that I just swore immediately into this video. I don't give a shit. Okay, my job is basically a shit show at the moment. So my little bit of joy in life is crocheting, okay? My little bit of joy is working on my little birthday cardigan, okay? That's my peace and love right now. But I want to do other stuff and get rid of my giant whip pile behind me, which you can kind of see, okay? So plan for this week. I would like to finally, I'm knocking everything over, weave in the ends on this bag. This bag has been done since my October market, if I remember correctly. I ended up not bringing it with me because I didn't weave in the ends and I didn't line the bag yet. So plan for this week is to at least weave in the ends. I don't necessarily need to line it right now. I did buy some brown fabric recently. You'll see that in a little bit. But I don't necessarily have to line it right now. I just need to weave in the ends. It can be future Tessa's problem to line the bag and decide how I want to do that. Okay? So there's that. Item number 2, which I just remembered, so we're going to go a little bit out of order here. I do need to finish cutting and dealing with all of the ends on a pair of stays I made. I also have to go to Michael's this week, and I've been meaning to do that since Monday, and I keep forgetting to tell my husband that I need to go to Michael's. But I need to go to Michael's because I need my ribbon so that I can wear this properly. But I made the autumn stays in the plus size. Fun fact also, I have lost enough weight now to wear patterns like this that are like designed at a certain like size for plus size are too big, which is crazy. Didn't think we'd hit that level anytime soon. But I think I'm still gonna wear this on Valentine's Day because I think it looks cute and it'll look cute with my dress. But I think if I go to make another one in the future for myself, I'll have to buy the normal sizing or the standard sizing for this pattern, which not a big deal. I really like the pattern actually and the writing style and all of that, so I'm not too mad at it. I should also note the reason why mine's so flimsy here is because I'm just using cording as my boning instead of plastic or steel. I didn't want to pay for more supplies when I know I have stuff here at the house I can use. Anyway, so the plan for that is I need to cut all the ends from sewing and put ribbon in it and lace it all up and stuff. So that's a new thing I need to go do this week. Ideally before Saturday, or if I do it on Saturday, I need to at least buy the ribbon on Saturday, fix it, and then get ready for date night, okay? By the way, Saturday's Valentine's Day. Okay, glad we filled each other in there. Back on topic though, for les business stuff, for Mr. Gibbs Handmade Goods, I am still working on the cardigan that I mentioned in my last video. Also, this video and 2 other videos I have filmed are gonna go kind of out of order because the video I filmed where it's called like back in business or whatever, that video was filmed last week, and then my next 2 videos I think are going up, I might just like quickly like upload them both during the week, are before I change my hair color. So we're gonna jump around a little bit and that's just gonna be fine. But in the back in business video, I talked about this cardigan I was working on, still working on it. I did in fact get a pinched nerve in my rotator cuff. Fun fact, I didn't know what that meant before today, okay? My shoulder's been killing me for about 2 weeks, so I went to the doctor and explained everything. He made me do a bunch of like movements and stuff, and he's like, hey bud, I think you pinched a nerve in your rotator cuff, not just like near it, in it. So that's really fun. The pain's actually starting to let up today, which is interesting, like interesting timing with the doctor's appointment and everything. Anywho, so I finally got through this last green color on both panels today. And because I've been feeling pretty good about crocheting today and I'm not using my shoulder too much, I started a new project, okay? I know, I already hear you yelling at me for starting more projects when I have a bunch of whips, but this one is really cute and I think I might keep this original one for myself. Gloved puff sleeve, like crop top I think is what it's called, or just the gloved puff sleeves pattern. I don't know. Anyway, all I'm gonna do for this pattern, I'll insert the cover photo here, but I'm not gonna do the thumb holes. I'm just gonna do normal cuffs, I think. Let me show you what we're working with. I've only been working on this for I think 2, maybe 3 hours. And I don't remember which way is the front. But I'm like blazing through this and I'm honestly loving it so much. So I'm likely gonna keep this one for myself. But as you can see, it is doing that like what's it called? It's what all the boleros are made out of. I don't remember what the pattern itself is called, the stitch pattern. But working on the sleeve, I honestly probably have like double this amount of rows left before I start doing the decreasing and the cuff. But this is what we're working with. I also love the ribbing I do. This is my standard ribbing that I do on everything now, okay? Everything I do this ribbing. And it's just front post, back post, half double crochets. For my cardigans, I do, I think 6 rows of double crochet front back posts, and then the final row is always a half double crochet just because it ties it off nicely. But these 3 rows here and these 2 rows on this section are done doing just half double crochets. And I honestly, I think this is my new favorite pattern, okay? Like I cannot elaborate on how excited I am to finish this. The only thing I will note about this pattern is it does only go up to an XL. It's a small to XL. However, it's a little bit of like a made to measure pattern at the same time. The only measurement you need to pay attention to is the width of your shoulder blades and kind of where those sit. And then the only other thing you need to pay attention to is the length of your shoulder down to like the 4 inches before the length you typically cut your sleeves off at. So I typically wear, I think a 2X now is roughly my size in like cardigans and hoodies and stuff. So I'm actually making the medium, which is a little crazy. I don't like when this area is super baggy on me. I get a little bit like claustrophobic feeling from it. Or like, maybe that's not the right word. Like I feel like I'm wearing a trash bag and it's like uncomfortable and like I don't like it. I'm already a little bit weird about how high up this is on my neck, but it's kind of okay right now and I'm not tweaking about it too much. Anyway, like I was saying, I don't know because I forgot. That's right. Okay, so I'm making the medium. So the way this pattern is kind of written is it notates a certain number of stitches for small, medium, large, and extra large. And then it also notes you can just add an extra set of 6 stitches additionally, or take away 6 stitches and go smaller if you need to, which is really nice. So that's why it's a little bit like a made to measure in my opinion. It has like a base size and then obviously from there you can continue. The gauge swatch is really simple, and you can also test your gauge stitch wise on the first row, which I think is really helpful because there are a handful of patterns I've seen over time where that's just not really an option. And by the time you realize it's too small or too big, you're too far gone. Anyway, but this is my pride and joy at the moment, and I think I've only worked on it for probably close to 3 hours, and I'm almost done with the first sleeve, about to finish the second sleeve, and then it's done. A couple modifications I made to this pattern as well. The ribbing that the pattern uses is back loop single crochets. Like I said, I did half double crochet front and back posts. Also, it has you create a seam here that is single crochets. I really hate the way that looks, so I just went straight into my rows of the stitch pattern, and it is pretty seamless in my opinion. Like you can kind of tell, but not really. But yeah, another modification I might make is how they do the decreasing for the sleeve. I don't really love the way it's shown in the pattern. I might change it. Anyway, my camera battery is about to die. We'll check back in when I make some progress on something. Probably just tomorrow in general, because I have D&D tomorrow, so I don't actually know how much I'm gonna get done, but that's not the point. Let's get going, all right? Okay, it's the next day. I'm tired. I'm not doing D&D today, actually. We're just not able to do it mentally. But look at our progress. This is the first sleeve. I could make it a little bit longer if I wanted to. I just don't think I really care to do that, to be honest, because if it's too long, I'm gonna fidget with it too much. Plus, I like that I can kind of just bunch it up and it looks fine. I think I'll try to make a version though, potentially, that has not as wide sleeves. Like I know it's the whole bit of the pattern, so like it's fine. But yeah, so I've started the second sleeve and I should have this done today, so that's cool. All right, here is, I'll show you the first outfit. I'll put it right here. Here is the second outfit I could potentially wear for Valentine's Day. I don't think I like this one as much, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know if I just like the, I don't know if I like the vibe. I think maybe if I had just a plain black tank top. This is the Jessie May top I made from the Ripple bralette. This is a skirt I made, and of course I made this guy in this video. But also, this is finished. I don't remember if I even did a clip for it being fully finished. It's finished. I love it. I could have made the sleeves, I think, a tiny bit longer, but I also could have made the neck hole slightly bigger. I probably should have made the size large, realistically, for this whole portion of the shaping. Oh well, now I know. But here's outfit number 2. Again, I feel pretty mid. I don't know. I don't hate this outfit. I just don't know if maybe I just don't love it. And like that's the problem. Plus this skirt, you can't really tell, but it's really short. So that would be my only other real concern. But I would plan to wear tights or even my current leggings underneath it. So I don't really know. Sleeves though, let me get a little closer for you. So the sleeves are probably about an inch shorter than I'd like them. I was really worried about running out of yarn, to be completely honest, so I was a little hesitant to make them as long as I would normally. So I think realistically I could just do a couple more rows of the ribbing and it'd be fine. I just don't know if I really want to do that or feel like doing that. I also think the billowing or like the floopiness of the sleeves might be a little bit much for my preference, so I think next time when I start the sleeves, I'm going to go down by 0.5 millimeter in my crochet hook. So everything here, except for both of the borders and the cuffs, are done at a 5.5, and the pattern calls for a 5 millimeter hook. And then the cuffs are done in a 4.5. So I think if I were to do, or when I do this again, because I'm making a second one for one of my besties, I'll film that as well and show you guys because it's really cute. But for hers, I think I'm going to see about doing that. She's also a lot shorter than me and has shorter arms. Like she's 5'2", I think. She's shorter than that, I think, honestly, actually. I don't really know. Anyway, point is, this will be way too long and big on her because she's smaller and shorter. So I'm gonna make, I think, the same size. I'm gonna use what the pattern calls for, so the 4.5 millimeter hook or 5 millimeter hook. I don't really remember. But let me show you the yarn. I don't really typically endorse Hobby Lobby, but they do have some really cute yarn, so I technically didn't purchase it. My bestie did. I'm gonna use the Velvety Smooth Sparkle from Yarn Bee. It's in the color, I don't know, olive. It's in the color olive. So pretty similar to this. A little more on the yellow side, and it also has gold, like, sparkle going through it. Anyway, I'm making one for her. We'll see how that goes. And we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm posting this past Valentine's Day, but let me know which outfit you liked more. This is where I think I'm gonna end this video because I don't have much more that I'm planning on working on today because I have to edit a bunch of videos. I have to edit like 4 videos, dudes. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I gotta edit. I gotta get ready for date night tomorrow, and it's almost Valentine's Day, so I'm just a little all over the place. But if you enjoyed this video or want to see more from me, subscribe. If you have any comments on this, I'm going to call it a bolero. That's not what it's called in the pattern. I'm calling it a bolero. That's what it is. But if you have any comments or questions about this, let me know. Maybe I can do a full video just talking about all the different modifications I made to this one and the modifications I plan to make to the other one and kind of walk you through maybe like my decisions for that. Anyway, regardless, let me know. Subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.